Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu and the fear of Allah. Umar radiallahu anhu would often hold a straw in his hand and say, "I wish I were a straw like this." Sometimes he would say, "I wish my mother had not given birth to me." Once he was busy with some important work when a person came to him and, complaining about some petty grievance, requested for its redress. Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu laid a lash across his shoulders, saying, "When I sit for that purpose, you do not come to me, but when I am engaged in other important work, you come with your grievances to interrupt me." The person walked away, but Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu sent for him, and handing his whip over to him said, "You now lash me to even the matter." He said, "I forgive you for the sake of Allah." Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu went home, prayed a salah of 2 rak'ats in repentance, and upbraided himself, saying, "O Umar, you were low, but Allah elevated you. You were wandering astray, but Allah guided you. You were base, but Allah ennobled you and gave you sovereignty over His people. Now one of them comes and asks you for redress of the wrong done to him, and you beat him. What answer have you to give before Allah?" He kept on chiding himself thus for a very long time. Once Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu was going on his usual round towards Harrah, that is a suburb of Medina, with his slave Aslam. When he saw a distant fire in the desert, he said, "There seems to be a camp. Perhaps it is a caravan that could not enter the town due to nightfall. Let's go and look after them and arrange for their protection during the night." When he reached there, he found a woman and some children. The children were crying. The woman had a pan of water over the fire. Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu greeted her with salam and with her permission went near her. "Umar, why are these children crying?" The woman, "Because they are hungry." Umar, "What is in the pan?" The woman, "Only water to soothe the children so that they may go to sleep in the belief that food is being prepared for them. Ah, Allah will judge between Umar and me on the day of judgment for neglecting me in my distress." Umar, weeping, said, "May Allah have mercy on you. How can Umar know of your distress?" The woman, "When he is our Amir, he must keep himself informed about us." Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu returned to the town and straightway went to Baytul Mal to fill a sack with flour, dates, fat and clothes, and also drew some money. When the sack was ready, he said to Aslam, "Now put this sack on my back, Aslam." Aslam said, "No, please, Amirul Mu'mineen, I shall carry this sack." Umar refused to listen to Aslam, even on his persistent request to allow him to carry the sack, and remarked, "What, will you carry my load on the day of judgment? I must carry this bag, for it is I who would be questioned in the hereafter about this woman." Aslam most reluctantly placed the bag on Umar radiallahu anhu's back, who carried it with a swift pace right to the woman's tent. Aslam followed at his heels. He put a little flour and some dates and fat in the pan and began to stir. He blew with his mouth into the fire to kindle it. Aslam says, "I saw the smoke passing through his thick beard." After some time the pottage was ready. He himself served it to the family. When they had eaten their fill, he made over to them the little that was left for them for their next meal. The children were very happy after their meal and began to play about merrily. The woman felt very grateful and remarked, "May Allah reward you for your kindness. In fact, you deserve to take the place of Khalifa instead of Umar." Umar consoled her and said, "When you come to see the Khalifa, you will find me there." He sat for a while at a place close by and kept on watching the children. He then returned to Medina. On his way back, he said to Aslam, "Do you know why I sat there, Aslam? I had seen them weeping in distress. I liked to see them laughing and happy for some time. It is said that Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, while leading Fajr Salah, used to recite Kahf, Taha and other such surahs in his Salah, and would weep so much that his crying could be heard way back to several rows. Once he was reciting Surah Yusuf in Fajr, when he came to the verse, إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ, which means, I only plead for my distress and anguish unto Allah. He wept so much that he could not recite any further. In Tahajjud, he would sometimes fall to the ground and would get indisposed with excessive weeping. Such was the fear of Allah in Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, whose name struck terror in the hearts of the mightiest monarchs of his time. Even today, the people are filled with awe when they read about him. Is there any person in power today who is prepared to show such kindness to the people in his charge?